we're going live a little earlier tonight than we normally do. We normally go about 60 seconds early, but this time it's a minute and a half because we were being funny. That hum that you hear in the background is Peter Heck. His house is being invaded by some sort of armored division. Isn't that right, Pete?
Yep, but they're taking another lap, so we got about 30 more seconds.
It's the Indiana Infantry and armored Panzer Division.
Yeah.
For some reason, needed to go to Peter Heck's house tonight.
Well, they're protecting me from the riots, being that I'm Teacher of the Year.
That's 2021 Teacher of the Year, Peter Heck, to you.
That's right.
Next year's Teacher of the Year.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that. We started talking about that before I went live, and then the producer yelled at us because we were being entertaining off camera, and she hates to see good comedy go to waste. So
it's at such a premium.
It's
we can't afford to waste it early. Hey, Gus. No.
Who are you talking to? Your dog?
My dog.
Perfect.
I'm laying down fabric squares over the new patio, and like they got glue bottoms, and I think he's about to take a whiz on them. And if that happens, it's going to get really ugly here.
If that happens, promise me that you'll hold the camera down so we can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say you're going to have to solo his camera.
Yeah. No problem. All right, straighten up, you guys, because we're getting ready to go. Hey, what happened to the... Oh, I still hear it. Okay. All right. Here we go. We're gonna go. We're gonna get this show on the road. People are getting restless out there. Okay. I gotta find the theme song. Hang on. All right. And here we go. Oops. That wasn't what I meant to do. Here we go.
Nope. No audio.
Something's supposed to be happening.
And now the man who beat coronavirus piano.
All I can hear is the
John And that's when they realized they had technical difficulties.
Wait a minute. You guys seriously can't hear anything?
Nope, can't hear a thing.
No.
How is that possible?
Well,
Brian, is that you doing the Morgan Freeman?
Yes, it's Brian.
That's so good.
Thank you.
I can hear it perfectly.
That's because it's on your computer. That's when John realized that in addition to not having internet. Oh, here we go.
Forget it. It's a... What's that? You got a puppet this week?
No, it's just a hedgehog, stuffed hedgehog, you know.
That, you didn't clear that with management. Okay, you guys, look at my green screen. Look at Brian's green screen. So what's up with your green screen? Look at Peter's green screen. What's up with your green screen?
My green screen. Oh, sorry.
No, not you, Brian.
So I usually run this on Chrome, and Chrome allows the green screen, and for some reason my camera and mic do not recognize on Chrome, so I had to switch over to Firefox, and Firefox does not have green screen capability for StreamYard.
And tell the people what you were concerned about.
I'm very concerned because I am known for my green screen backdrops. You know, I was like, people are going to be disappointed, and so that's kind of why I broke out the hedgehog. So,
right, as a substitute for the green screen.
So I apologize, and I'm going to do everything in my power to have this fixed for next week.
Okay. All right. Why can't you guys hear? Oh, I know why you can't hear the thing. Hang on a minute. Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
It's the Quarantine Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who is crushing quarantine with it's not killing him first, John Baronian!
Peter Heck, what is the second line in that song?
No, I have no idea. Do you still not know what that is? Why are you continuing to run a theme song that you don't even know what it says?
Because it's awesome.
Who did it?
One of our viewers did it. Why? Why does that matter?
Well, I figured you could reach out to whoever did it and ask them what in the world they're saying.
I probably could. But
You don't want to know, do you?
Not really.
Gee. I really got to reprioritize. This is what I do on a Friday night.
Okay.
How is that possible? What happened?
Well,
I had so much promise. There were so many things going my way.
Here's. I got a couple of things. I want to do. It occurred to me this afternoon that what we should do is we should take one of these Star Spangled Ding Dongs. I still have most of a box of them left, and we should open it and put it on this plate and see how long it takes it to deteriorate. Right? So, like every week, I'll give you the Star Spangled Ding Dong update. Who's with me? Who thinks that's a good idea? Okay, I got 3. You're outvoted, Pete. Here we go.
I'm just having fun with you saying Star Spangled Ding Dong.
I'm excited to see when it like sprouts arms or legs and starts walking on its own.
Look at what's on the top of it. There's very few
stars or spangles.
Yeah, that's it. That's the whole deal. So I'm putting it on this plate. There we go. And what I don't know is how I'm going to keep ants and things from finding it. But even if they do find it, I'm not sure they'll eat it. But that's it's June 5th, 2020, and it's 7:06 roughly, and we've taken it out of the package. And so every week you'll be able to look forward to a dang Star Spangled update is what it's going to be.
It's now become a science show instead of comedy.
Yeah, we're here to educate as well as entertain.
Be like one of those McDonald's, one of those doctor's offices that has the McDonald's burger sitting out for 8 years and it still looks the same.
Right. And I have no idea what's going to happen to this. I've got a few. I can hope. I've got a couple things that I hope will happen. Okay, Chris Schufel, everybody, put your hands together. Send some emojis up in the comment section. Chris Schufel, Chris in the classroom, and Peter Heck is back with us this week with his safety shears. Now, Chris is a teacher, was a teacher, and Peter is the Indiana Teacher of the Year, along with 65,000 other teachers. Chris, did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
Yeah. So we interviewed Pete 2 weeks ago, or was it last week?
It was last week.
It was last week. Okay. So I wanted to get the two of you on together so that you could maybe, so we could maybe insult Chris for not having achieved the Teacher of the Year status. And just when we were about to do that, before I turned the camera on, Chris revealed, what was it that you revealed, Chris?
I was 2016-17 Teacher of the Year in my district in Texas. So dropping bombs.
But let me clarify, or let me.
There was an important term in what he just said. Did we all catch it?
What was it? What was it, Pete?
I believe it was district.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was actually during a year where I was with my students face to face the entire year.
Mhm.
Shots fired.
That's the easy way of doing it. You have no idea the kind of stress I was under not dealing with students every day.
Now, let me ask you, Pete, what do you teach?
History and government primarily. Yeah, I like the AP classes, the AP history.
Okay.
Were you English?
No.
I was just like, your grammar was very good, and so I assumed.
I've written several books, but no, not an English teacher.
What did you teach?
I taught music.
Really?
Yeah. So I always tell kids, like, having been a music teacher, 2 things. My classes were always a ton of fun, and 2, I never gave homework, and 3, I never counted past 4. So
that's big.
That's just how we roll.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because he has good. What is that?
That's my dog. He's got his squeeze toy. Hang on. It's this thing. Like, listen to it. It can wait. Go get it. All right, we're good now. The mower's gone, by the way.
I know. If we wanted.
By the way, I make that same
What's the
noise when I
next thing
jog.
going to come through?
We don't know.
So
yeah,
because Chris has good grammar, he must be an English teacher. Is that?
No, it's not that. I would have guessed he was, like an English teacher. I was just taking a guess. It's not an insult. Okay, dude.
I didn't take it as one.
I did.
Yeah, obviously John was insulted by that.
Well,
John was offended for me.
Yeah, I was offended. I also wanted to clarify that when Chris was the teacher of the year, what do you think he's going to do when you keep throwing the toy? Kara wants to see your dog.
All right, come here, Gus. Come here.
I hope
you teach history. What do you think?
I hope it's
happen?
a Saint Bernard. I want to see him hoist a Saint Bernard up onto his lap.
Oh gosh. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
that's Gus. Gus the dog. Yeah, you want to tell him how you poop everywhere? He's mastered the art of every entryway, every fence, every doorway, everywhere that humans traffic. He just takes monster dumps. Just right. Okay. All right, dude. Come on. He's gone limp.
Well, he's
gone limp. Okay.
He's been outside for 20 minutes now.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
He hasn't done his business yet?
No, he's waiting until I go in. He'll dump right in front of me. Where were we?
What's that?
Where were we? We were talking about something.
We were talking about Chris being teacher of the year in his district, and you were mocking him for it.
I wish you would quit calling him that.
But I wanted to clarify that you were the only teacher of the year in your district. Is that not correct?
Me?
Yeah.
No, there were several.
Yeah. I know you're trying to take away from my honor. And you don't understand. That's
because before we went live, y'all were trying to make me out to be like just he's just a teacher. I'm like, no, I've got some accolades.
Yeah.
So Chris, the question is,
not trying to diminish yours, just trying to up mine.
Did every teacher in your district, were they named teacher of the year?
No.
Did your mom hand out the awards? Is that who bestowed it upon you? I'm curious. It's not. I wasn't being.
See, Don, now this is what I do full time. This is now what I do. I deal with people like this.
That's why I wanted to get this started. What
do you do now?
We're luring Peter into a trap, and I didn't want him to know about that until later on.
What does he do now?
Apparently, you didn't want me to know about it either. So no, I started a bullying prevention campaign that's gone nationwide. So
Chris teaches children how to protect themselves against bullies like you, Peter.
Yes. This is fantastic. That's great.
And we're gonna employ some of his techniques later in the show. That's one of the other reasons I wanted you to be here.
Do I have to stay for the whole show this week?
I don't know.
How long
Yes,
does it go?
If your dog is you have to at least stay until your dog takes a dump on your floor.
He's a good boy. That won't be long. That won't be long.
All right.
can I just throw the obvious joke out there? It would be really funny if Pete's dog was a cockapoo. Just gonna throw that out there.
Is it?
That's on the nose right there. That's good.
All right. We're gonna get to the comments of the week, Pete, and then the Amazon review, and then we're gonna do the thing that I need you for, that I want you for.
Yeah.
So first I got to pull up the screen here. There it is. All right. Quote of the week from Ray B. From last week, they're $2.78 at my Walmart, and that was a reference to the Star Spangled Ding Dongs, which I paid $4.50 for. So, have any of the rest of you guys even gone to price Star Spangled Ding Dongs, or am I carrying this responsibility all by myself?
I think I'm going to purchase some.
I have not.
I am going to purchase some this week.
Okay. Well, let me know what you pay for them.
Okay.
$2.78 is like half what I paid for mine. All right. Luke McKinney was expecting more spangling, also in reference to the Star Spangled Ding Dongs. And
Does it count that he's family?
what is spangling? Is that even a word? Like the Star Spangled? What does spangled mean? Does that mean
Chris is the English teacher. He should tell us.
Yeah, I think spangled means like adorned, or like if it's star spangled, that means it contains stars.
it's star adorned ding dongs?
It's a verb, past tense, spangled. Cover with spangles or other spangling objects. Or sparkling objects. Sorry.
What
There you
in the world are we doing?
We're
That doesn't
learning.
help.
See, we're teaching something you should know about.
Spangled, to be covered with spangles.
Yeah.
I could have guessed at that definition. Does it have something to do with spangles? It does.
It does, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. All right. Julie W. says, my daughter slices her bananas like that for her smoothies. LOL. That was in reference to the banana slicer. You guys remember the banana slicer last week?
Splicer or slicer?
Slicer.
Slice.
Oh,
It cuts them in even, uniform slices.
Yeah. It's a thing, Pete.
but is that difficult to do manually?
That is depends on who you are. In some families, yes. In some families, we read the reviews, man. We read the reviews. In some families, it was a source of tension and frustration, and the banana slicer. Apparently, in this family, that this daughter slices her bananas for her smoothies. I don't know why you would need to slice bananas before you put them into a smoothie, but to each his own. And then Jeff L. gave us Plancks Constant, which is 6.6207004 times 10 to the minus 34, something or other. What is that? What is that back part? Do either of you teachers know?
I don't have any idea what that is. You think we come
My
across?
wife was a math teacher.
Is it liters to kilograms per second?
I mean, we're reading the it doesn't have anything like that in there.
Well, that's Planck's constant.
Yeah, if it was Ben Franklin's Constant, then I could help you out. But I don't have any idea about Plancks.
It's Plancks Spangled.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, it is a
Oh, no.
square meter, kilograms per second. I'm just Googling
Just
stuff.
giving up.
See, that helps. That clears it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
6.62607,004 times 10 to the minus 34 meters
Square meters to the kilograms per
square
spangling.
meter per spangling. And that came up on the show last week, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, because we've got this reputation that we just get on and horse around and we don't accomplish anything. But Plancks Constant was actually part of the show last week.
in what way?
He was a good guest.
I don't know.
He was a good guest.
I don't know.
You don't know how it came up.
Well, it was part of it. It was a number in a Mad Lib.
Jeez.
But that doesn't matter. The important thing,
Oh,
the
So-
important thing is it was in.
your way of proving that this show isn't just getting on and talking about nonsense is the fact that you were playing Mad Libs and somebody just randomly threw out Plancks Constant.
Correct.
Yeah,
But when you say it like that, it sounds
Right.
dumb.
right. Yeah. My apologies.
All right, you guys. This week we got another Amazon review. It's the Bic for Her Fashion Retractable Ballpoint Pen, medium point, 1.0 millimeter, assorted fashion ink, 2 count. There it is. On Amazon, $14.99. Easy Glide ink technology for beautifully smooth writing. Sleek pen silhouette and jeweled accents add style. Soft contoured grip for all-day comfort. Medium point and fashion ink, which they said twice. All right. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. I can't see you guys, so I can't tell if you're enthusiastic about this.
Well, I'm curious, does it retract
no.
fashion?
Okay.
Because it's fashion retractable? Does it like pull out any fashion style that they have?
Well, Brian, I'm going to tell you, there were some questions that were asked about this pen, and we'll get to them, and we'll see if yours is among them.
Okay.
First question: how do you get the pen to write? At the bottom, there's just a hole where there is usually a pointed end
my God.
with ink in it. Answer: there's a shiny diamond at the end of the pen. When you push it, the magic happens. Be sure to have your husband read the manual and explain it to you, or you might get all confused again. Because it's a pen for ladies, remember? So,
I like how you're mansplaining
See,
that now.
there's error in that because there's error in that because it assumes that the guy is actually going to read the directions.
It's true.
that's true. That's true. Be sure to have your husband read the manual, which he will not do. Next question: is this product available with wings?
But it is for all-day comfort. They did say that, though.
All day comfort, but apparently no. No wings. Will this help my wife to improve her sandwich making skills? If they do, then I may have a defective set, as I am still lacking in such skills. Am I possibly using them wrong?
Oh gosh.
So far we haven't gotten to Brian's question. Will these work at all for non-binary otherkin? I have a report that's due, and I'm still pre-op. Unfortunately, it's only for her. Still waiting for the pens specified for neither genders.
Oh my goodness.
So Bic is on it, but we don't have a total solution for all possible kinds yet. All right. Now we're getting to the reviews. This first review didn't write. Punk pen didn't write at all, and Purple pen only lasted for a day. And I wonder if it did last for a whole day. I wonder what he was doing with it. He might have been, like drawing hopscotch boards on the sidewalk or something like that. Depending on how you use it, it won't last as long. All right, and then I've got some other reviews. I didn't write them all out, but I'll just read them to you. Here, I don't need to keep this up, do I? We all know we're talking about a pen, right? Do I need to leave the picture of the pen up there, or whoops. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm taking this down.
Remove from stream.
Let's go on by itself now. All right.
Oh no.
There we go. All right. Here's a few reviews, and then we'll get on to the reason that we brought Chris and Peter on here. More reviews for the Big for Her. So if you're still on the fence trying to figure out whether or not this is the right product for you, here's a few reviews. The first one. I bought these for a woman at work, and she couldn't figure out how to use man pens. After I helped her open the package, she was super happy. She can now write in great pink and purple. My husband got me these lady pens because I find man pens to be so taxing. Thank God he knows what a delicate flower I am. I gave these to all the men in my office, and they all received pay cuts a few weeks later. Thanks, Bic, for helping me to bridge the pay gap, at least in my office.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so now they have their own pens. Next thing, they will be owning property, voting, and talking back. When will it end? All right, and this is the last one. Okay, thanks for sticking with me. Wife, I said, if you could have one new fashion accessory to go with your Snooki's sultry hobo handbag, what would it be? Finally, her dreams can be realized. I'll have to teach her how to use the pen safely, but it will be worth the effort once she starts earning big bucks addressing envelopes at home. The product itself came two to a package as advertised, and both of them contained ink, so you don't have to worry about making your own. They really retract, although the ejector plunger may wear as the wife practices pushing the ram. Also, the roller ball on the one I broke open was 1.2 millimeters, which rounds down to 1.0 millimeters. So it may be a little too heavy gauged for a female beginner pen slinger. I think the balls are made out of tungsten carbide, although the lab results won't be ready for several weeks. The ink pH, viscosity check, and appearance fell in line with manlier inks, although the pink ink was a nice for her customization. Overall, these pens are well suited to make markings on paper or other materials. A felt tip pen would probably have been a better choice for beginners, as there is less chance of eye damage. Of course, no pen is truly eye safe. You can get around this by purchasing a good set of safety goggles for her before letting her hold the pen. That's the Bic for Her fashion retractable ballpoint pen reviewed this week on the Starving Comics Quarantine Show.
That may be the longest pen review in Amazon history.
You're welcome, everybody. You're welcome. All right. There's one other thing that I wanted to do.
Hey.
What?
I got a quick question. Just because you just named the name of the show, the Quarantine Show, and all that.
Yeah.
So we went to Walmart today, and I figure you got viewers that aren't in Indiana, but like we had things to take back. And we got up to customer service, and the lady said, until Indiana lifts their stay-at-home order, we're not allowed to take anything back.
Right.
I thought we had lifted our stay-at-home order. I'm not staying at home, and very few people are. So what does that? Is that a thing?
California it is.
Are you in California?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I figure you aren't allowed to do anything out there. But
That's correct.
right,
He's not even allowed to use his green screen.
That's
today.
right. He had to get Firefox. Anyway, I was blown away by that, because they can serve you and do other things, but taking back your gas X, they can't do.
Right.
It's very
Correct.
strange to me. Very
Right.
strange.
Well, that's because you don't care what happens to the most vulnerable people.
Well said.
You don't care about people.
Right.
No. Well, we had the same thing. We went to the grocery store. We came out of the grocery store. Look how sweaty I am. We came out of the grocery store, and we had a bag of oranges that we were putting into the trunk. And as we put the oranges into the trunk, we just left the store. As we put the oranges into the trunk of our car, we noticed that one of the oranges was green and moldy. And so we went, oh, oranges are not supposed to be green and moldy. So we're going to take this back into the store. We went right back to the store and we said, we just bought this bag of oranges and one of them is bad. And the guy said, I'm sorry, we're not taking returns because of the virus. And we said, we just left the store. This bag was inside the store moments ago. And now we would like.
They don't know, but what you don't have in your trunk, syringes full of COVID-19, and this is all a scam. You're going out there and injecting the COVID. This is the danger that we live with now.
What should we call this show when the quarantine is lifted?
I think that assumes that the quarantine will be lifted.
That's right. We're going to wait until everybody, when it's lifted for everybody. When Brian April can return a bag of oranges to the grocery store, then we will talk about changing the name of this show. But right now, in solidarity, and in order to stand with our brother in California, it's a quarantine show.
I appreciate it.
You bet. You bet, man. And you're right, Peter. I've got an entire crate of rotten oranges in the trunk of my car. I just drive around. See if I can unload them.
Who will take them?
I go to farmers markets. I went to Staples, and
give it a whirl.
You never know. So we got some email this a couple of weeks ago, and this person was asking for some advice. He wanted to get my thoughts, specifically my thoughts. But I know that there's collectively more wisdom among, the four of us. And so I want to read this email and then get your advice for this guy. And I see this as something that's probably going to become, there's going to be more and more of this happening as people start to realize, oh, these guys who are leaving Star Spangled Ding Dongs out on plates to rot and reviewing lady pens are also available to give life advice. We definitely want to tap into that fount of wisdom. So I'm anticipating there's going to be more people writing us in the future. Okay. Here it is. A strange event happened to me today. In anticipation of my wife and my 4th wedding anniversary, I splurged and bought her a KitchenAid. I don't actually know what that is. That's a brand, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a big, I think he's talking about a big mixer, big giant KitchenAid mixer.
Yeah.
Like a mixer. When I think of a mixer, I think of a thing like it's got paddles on it and you can make dough and cake mix and things like that. Is that what it is?
Yeah, but the KitchenAid, it stands on its own. It does it on its own. It's like a thing you would see if you went to a bakery, just a big thing that does it by itself, just smaller size for kitchens.
It's
okay.
a
So that's okay. All right, so it's a mixer. The package arrived today while my wife was taking a nap and I was downstairs playing with our kids. Perfect. I could hide the package in the basement and surprise her with it on the special day. One small problem. I live in a row of townhouses, the address numbers of which may or may not be well marked. Apparently, it's acceptable to place a package on any old doorstep. So I watched as the delivery guy takes a KitchenAid box to my neighbor's door 2 doors down. He practically ran back to his truck and didn't even ring the doorbell. I did what any good neighbor would do. I checked 3 times to see whether or not anyone had noticed the delivery. The box remained. I began to doubt the box was mine. I checked the tracking number. My KitchenAid was reported delivered just minutes ago. Heart pounding, I left my kids and walked out in the middle of my cul-de-sac where anyone could see me to steal my own package off my neighbor's front porch. I boldly approached, bent down quickly to check the name on the label. Relief swept over me as I saw it was mine. I confidently walked back home and into my house, no one the wiser. I almost felt guilty. Was this the right thing to do? Should I have rung their doorbell and explained the situation? What say you? Is it okay to steal your own package off the neighbor's porch? Or do you owe them an explanation?
I would knock
No
once.
explanation needed.
I would knock once, and then if they didn't answer, I'm gone.
So you would have knocked.
Yes.
Like a solid knock or like a little tentative
Probably,
knock.
with the real knock, but I would want that, if someone's package was delivered to my door and I was like, hey, look, a free KitchenAid. And then someone came up and was like, knock, hey, look, my name's on here. I'm not stealing this from you. And so when people report me to the police, I just want you to know.
Okay.
That's
Pete?
Chris, you're going to say that you're just going to take it?
If it's my name on the package, the person didn't open the door, had no clue, anything like that. My wallet's in my pocket. I can prove it's mine. You're good to go.
I mean, we're trying to have a society here. Of course you knock and you wait until someone answers and then you explain the situation. You can't just go.
What if they're not home?
What? Then you wait.
What if they're not home? What if they're at Walmart trying to return rotten oranges?
You wait. If they're on vacation, if they've gone away for the summer months, you wait until they're home.
I am not delaying my no. Are you married?
Okay, first of all, yes. And that was
no. Are you married?
Yes.
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay. I am not delaying my wife's anniversary present.
Okay.
Just for someone else's comfort.
This is where I thought the whole thing was going for a second. I would take it back and yell out to no one holding the box in my head. I own
this. I own this.
Okay, listen. This is the second part. This is where I thought this was going originally. What are you doing getting your wife a KitchenAid for her anniversary?
mm-hmm.
I mean, you should leave that. Let them have it next door and get a better present, man. That's the real issue here. You can't be buying a kitchen appliance for an anniversary. Mercy.
What if you got her a whole box of lady pens? Would that be better? If it was a box of lady pens that accidentally got delivered to your neighbor's porch, can you steal those off the porch?
Only if you want to have your own house peppered with star-spangled ding-dongs.
Leave the oranges in place of the package.
Thinking about this a little bit more, since your package was delivered there, you technically now own that house.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
You could just be like shaking at the door, like, let me, I think that's
Squatter's
I
right.
mean, it's delivered.
You can tell that he's from California, right? They do things.
Just plant your flag in their living room, and if they come back, you got to shoot them because they're savages trying to take your land.
Exactly. That's
Property ownership. Property ownership is a whole different thing out on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So we've got a split decision on that.
Yeah, I mean, we had.
What did you say, John?
Oh, I say that that what you should have done was you should have put on a mask and a trench coat and slinked across there, looking guilty as could be. Right? Look both ways. Run up to the door, grab your package, run back, and then shake your fist at the sky and say, "You'll never take me alive, coppers," and slam the door.
Like the sand people in the first Star Wars.
Right.
Do that
with
over your head.
R2D2.
Yeah,
right.
I love it.
That's what I would have done. But that's my take. So we got there's several different takes.
Right. We offered no help whatsoever.
I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say this
no.
was tremendously helpful.
No, you gave him 4 different answers.
Right. Right.
Actually 5, but because I did 2.
Oh, that's true.
See, now he can just roll some dice, and boom, there you go.
Yeah. I think it was tremendously helpful, and my opinion is the only one that matters. So, all right. Chris Schufel is a teacher and a I don't want to say bullying expert because that makes it sound like you're the guy who's
been working on it for years.
Bullying prevention expert. We'll take that.
expert.
He
Okay,
was
so
bully of the year in Texas in one district.
in his district. Yes. Chris Shute, anti-bully expert. That's a better word. All right. So tell us a little bit about what you do and then what we're going to do here tonight.
Sure. So after teaching for over a decade, I noticed all the stuff coming down from up above about teaching kids how to handle bullying and aggression and mean behavior. And I saw it not work, the ignore it, walk away, go tell a teacher, I just saw it not work. And kids would confide in me all the time about, oh, it's not working. There's got to be something else, So I got linked up with a couple other guys and we created a methodology that actually helps kids boost their resilience to mean behavior, so that essentially if there's no, we teach kids how to handle mean behavior. We say, look, there's always going to be mean people. There's always going to be junk that comes your way. You got to learn how to deal with that negative behavior. So we teach kids how to be resilient, and then we teach them social skills of how to deal with mean people that come across their path, but we do it through games. So John and I were talking, I was a guest on the Comedy Sojourn the other day, and we, towards the end, I said, hey, John, this actually, we were talking about some stuff with the current situations going on, and I said, hey, this game could actually help. And I gave a couple scenarios to John, and he's like, you need to bring that on the show on Friday. So
right.
This is one of the games that we use to teach kids how to deal with setbacks, mean behavior, mean people, whatever. It's called Bummer.
People like Peter and sometimes Brian. Right. All right. So do you want to? We need to put that up on the screen.
So,
okay.
So the game is called Bummer, and the point of this game is to teach kids positive coping skills when something goes wrong or when somebody treats them the wrong way. So this game is called Bummer. So what's going to happen is I'm going to randomly pick a situation on here. There's going to be a bummer and then an I could statement. The I could statement is a coping skill that you could use, but you're not going to want to. So the challenge is you have to come up with a proper coping skill for the situation. But I made this game board special for us on here tonight. So this is a custom-made Quarantine Comics game board.
Hooray! Now, can the people watching also make their suggestions as well for how they?
Sure,
how
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let's see what everybody says here. So let's give it a spin and see what comes up first.
It's technology. Oh,
All right.
all right.
It says, I ate sketchy Mexican food before a show, and now my stomach is gurgling la cucaracha. I could cancel the show due to a sudden rumble in the Bronx, or...
And this is where we come up with it. So we had a Palpatine taco before the show, and it didn't set well. So we could cancel, which is one solution. We could cancel the whole show and cause half of America to lose the one thing that they look forward to on Friday night. Or
I could sit on my front porch and blame it on my dog.
that is a solution. I could just mute the microphone and let nature take its course.
That's what you got to do.
Sounds good. Are we?
I don't know.
Are we in agreement on that one?
Anybody else have a comment?
I'm ignoring Brian, and I'm just going to go with John's answer there. Yeah.
Well, I figured Peter would have a comment because he's got a comment for everything. So
No, Brian is dead to me right now. It's clear. Chris, there's someone about to murder you behind you. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I got it. Yeah.
Take a Tums. Yeah, we could do that. I didn't think about that. Complete the show with Maracas. Is that what they said? Complete the show with Maracas?
Yeah. Man, a lot of people want to play along with Maracas.
Yeah, Maracas are a solution. They're a viable solution.
That's very true. All right, here we go.
Spin it again.
Round two?
I'm ready.
All right. All right. On a plane, the person next to me is snoring loudly. I could tie their shoelaces together. Or
I'm going to go with that one.
Jeez.
I could. No, this is right up. I don't know if I don't know if I'm doing this right, but I could passively aggressively cough really loud and accidentally elbow them in the rib. That's good for anti-bullying, right? I think I'm doing this right.
That would be okay.
Okay, I got this.
Is it okay? Would the solution be to in some manner to jostle them? If you gently jostle them and hope that changing their position would either wake them up or they swallow their tongue.
Tabby wins.
I could also live stream on social media and just mock them.
I can't see the comments. What Tabby say?
She said, put a kazoo in their mouth. Sing along.
Drop an M&M in their mouth or put a kazoo in their mouth and sing along. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
That's better.
Obviously, when I play this with kids, the goal is to have a positive coping skill, but I think this is a lot more fun.
Yeah, you came.
I think this is a lot more fun, though.
Here's what happened to me. Here's what happened to me on a plane. This is a true story, you guys. I was sitting on a plane next to, you know Gollum from Lord of the Rings. That's who I was sitting next to. It was this little kid. I'm not kidding you. This little kid looked like he was about 11, 12 years old, maybe. And he comes in with his family, and he's all hunched over. He's all black and goth, and he's got dark eyes. He comes in, and his family sat. There was three of them. They sat like on the row across from me and back one. So it was just me and this kid. I was in the middle seat. This kid was on the aisle, and there was somebody else in the window. So I'm in the middle seat, and this kid goes, and he goes and he sits down in his seat and he lays it back. It was like a 4-hour flight from California. and he falls asleep. It's an hour in or whatever. He's just sleeping. And I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh no, I can't. I'm going to hold it. So I held it for 30 minutes. But it was a Palpatine taco. It wasn't. And I couldn't anymore. I had like 3 hours. I'm like, I gotta wake this kid up, and he's, and I don't want to do it. So I just bump him, and I say, excuse me, and he won't wake up. And so I nudged him a little harder, and he sits up and he looks over at me, and I said, I need to get out. And he goes, why? Just like that. Why?
It's part Gollum, part Gilbert Gottfried.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have to get out?
Wow.
You'll find out real soon if you don't move.
Yeah. What happened? Did you spin it again?
All right. Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready to spin it, though. Are we
right.
good?
Yeah, give it a spin.
Big money, big money, big money, no whammies. And stop.
All right. Someone keeps talking at the movies. I could start a food fight. Or
I mean, you do that thing where you look over, if they're behind you, you kind of look over your shoulder. I mean, I do that, let out a sigh, but probably I just get up and go to a different seat.
We're doing positive things, right? Positive?
Right.
whatever makes you guys happy tonight.
Oh, wait a minute. That was a positive thing, though, right?
Yeah, you could move.
I'm diffusing the situation by going to a different seat.
You're not diffusing anything. You're just avoiding it.
You could go up next to the ear and just go. That's how I always. That's what my dad would always do. Well, not next to my ear, but that's how we knew to stop, or we would get a spanking.
Yeah, that would. I feel like a kazoo would be handy there too. Snape killed Dumbledore. Drop a lit firecracker into his lap. That's
oh man.
You could insert tell them they're going to be in the credits as Chatty Person 3.
Chatty Person 3.
Yeah.
Not even top billing, not even number one Chatty Person,
nope.
But number 3. All right, spin it.
Next round. Here we go.
I like this. I'm helping people today.
Who's winning?
My spouse always seems to stand in front of the drawer I need to open. I could squirt them with the sink sprayer, or
Pete, you could just get up and go to a different kitchen.
Oh, I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking clothes drawer. I just go to her clothes drawer, and if she didn't want me to wear her clothes, then she'd get out of the way. But you're talking like a kitchen drawer.
Yes, a kitchen drawer.
Yeah.
Do you have a sink sprayer in the closet?
You got a really long hose on the sink sprayer. Bring it
I
in.
don't know why. I don't know why that's what I was thinking, but I was just in the drawer.
Time to hose down the sweatpants I wore outside.
Hug them and use the hug to move them out of the way.
That's brilliant.
That's probably the sort of answer you're looking for, isn't it, Chris?
Yeah, kind of. Hug them and move them out of the way. That actually fits right in.
So
Absolutely.
go.
It's like a passive-aggressive affection.
I mean, putting on my wife's clothes, I thought was a good answer too. She's in the kitchen in front of the drawer. I go back to the bedroom, come out wearing her clothes.
She'd move real quick, I guess.
Seems to solve the problem.
Cut a hole in the top of the sink. Go in from the top. Get what you need.
Oh,
Come
man.
in with a sawzall and brrr.
Just stand behind her.
Don't let me. I don't want to inconvenience you, honey, and ask you to move. Brrr.
All right, next one.
I get a little nervous when it spins. There we go.
All right. A heckler is taking things too far. I could have security escort Bob Smiley out of the show. Or
yeah, what do you do when you get heckled? That's sort of like bullying.
Hey, have you ever been heckled, Brandon?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Heavens, yes.
I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever talked about that.
Uh,
Do you engage them?
well, that's because we're not close, Pete.
Good point. Good point. I try to limit our conversations as much as possible.
What
So,
do you want to know about my heckling? You want to know how I handled it?
yeah, I want to know, do you engage them or do you try to ignore them?
It depends on what they're doing. Hecklers, Brian could tell you about this too. Hecklers fall into multiple categories, and depending on what type of heckler you are dealing with, you handle it differently. If they're drunk, you know, like at a church function, there's not much you can do with them. You know, you're better off just ignoring them. Most of the hecklers that I have had are trying to be helpful, you know, and so they're into what's going on, and so they're talking and they're interacting, but it's not because they're trying to upset me. They're just having a good time, and they don't know that they've gone too far.
Helpers.
Right.
Yeah, the helpers. I've been heckled at a church event.
Have you?
Yes. It was very weird. It was the pastor. No, it was no, but I was doing a show and I was doing a bit. It was a Valentine's Day show, and I was doing a bit about chocolate. And then somebody in the audience threw, because they were handing out chocolate, so he threw chocolate up at me in the middle of my joke, and I was like, "This is okay." I just stared at it for a second, got a huge laugh, and then I was like, I was not expecting to have chocolate thrown at me at a church. Nice people we have here tonight.
So you don't ever fire back at them and like go one-on-one.
It depends. Well, we don't want to get too technical, but you want to make sure that the audience likes you more than them. So if they've been disruptive throughout the show, then you can come back. You can come and, you know, kind of hit them hard, and people will like that. But if they just say like, "Hey," and you're just like, "Shut your mouth," and then they're like, "Wow, you're a jerk." So it really depends on the situation.
Makes sense.
Right. See, I've never had that. I've never had the audience like me more than the heckler. So I always have to be a little more cautious. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just throw chocolate back at them. I have a big thing of Tootsie Rolls, and I'll just throw handfuls like I'm on a float in a parade.
Yeah.
And,
I try not to
Tootsie
deal with
Rolls.
it. If
Tootsie
it
Rolls
is,
are
I
the
just diffuse. I just go,
chocolate.
"Thanks, Dad." You know, the quick standard thing, and everybody laughs.
yeah. I've been heckled. Yeah, have you ever been heckled in the classroom, Pete?
Oh yeah, I mean that's every day.
What do you do?
Oh, I fire right back at them. Yeah, like that's why it's uncomfortable for me to be on the show with an anti-bullying expert. That's my teaching strategy. I feel like he's undermining everything that I do.
Well, teacher of the year. So
It
must
really is. I mean, it really is funny. I don't remember being bullied in high school at all. I mean, people would make jokes and stuff and make fun of me for things, but I always kind of just played along. But I mean, ever since I started teaching, it's a daily occurrence. I mean, they are ruthless. Everything that you wear, everything that you say, everything that you, and I mean, I go along with it. It doesn't bother me. It's kind of funny. They're precious little children.
Well, I think that's kind of what you're addressing, isn't it, Chris? Is that it's just relentless, and it comes from all different angles and all different people, and everybody gets bullied in some manner. Is that right? Is that fair?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody goes through it some way, some shape, some form in their life. So,
yeah.
Yep. Our whole goal is to teach kids how to not be victims.
But see, I hate that. I have always enjoyed being a victim. You can get so many things that way.
Oh my
Like,
god.
what do you get? What do you have in your possession that you owe to your victimhood right now?
We got to get on with the game.
Where'd you get that dog? Is that dog the reason?
Actually, it was delivered to my neighbors, and I just went across and grabbed it, brought it home.
All right. We got. Let's do one more.
All right.
Oh, good. I was hoping the toilet would. Yeah.
My friend hangs the toilet paper roll under rather than over. I could throw holy water on them and call them a sinner, or
How would you better respond to the toilet paper is supposed to go over, right? Are we all agreed on that?
supposed to go over.
Yeah. People like a beard. No one likes a mullet.
That's awesome.
That's how you remember it.
People, no one likes a mullet.
Well, most people.
I'll
Normal
bet you.
people.
I'll bet you Pete's going to argue with you about that.
I was trying to figure out how that worked. Like the beard,
It's the front.
it's in front. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then
And
the
a
mullet
mullet's-
would be in the back.
Right behind the head. Okay, I'm with you now.
Okay.
What I would do is you remove the roll and you stuff it down into the part that touches. Hole.
And what would that accomplish exactly?
Is it my toilet? Are they on my toilet?
No. Well, no. You're in their bathroom. You're in your friend's bathroom.
Oh. Well, then you got to play by their rules.
Oh, I would think the opposite. I
No.
think if it was my house, I'd be careful about it. But if it was their house, yeah, you stuff the whole roll right down in the. Serves them right.
I'm sorry. No. If it's
Again.
their house, if it's their house, they should be able to place the roll wherever they want, even if they want to do it wrong. I mean, you're a guest there.
Huh? Is that how it works in California, Brian?
Yes. Well, what I do is I take a picture of it and post it on social media. #monster. Make sure you tag them and all of their friends.
I'm not saying, John, I'm not saying you got to use the roll that way, but you got to leave it. You just scoot along their bath mat to wipe, but leave the roll as it is.
Okay.
I mean, that's just a polite thing to do.
Now I understand.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're agreed then. Okay, I got a question for you, Pete, and this is serious.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning to ask you this, but the toilet came up. Do you still keep a box of cereal in your bathroom?
Yes. To be fair, at this time, there's not a box of cereal because I'm not eating that, but there's my box of granola bars in there.
But you would keep a box of cereal in there.
Correct. If that's what I was on right now, but I've been on granola bars for a couple years. When I get up in the morning, I go in there and go to the bathroom and eat my breakfast.
Why don't you bring a little skillet and cook yourself some eggs while you're at it?
Brian, I would say to you that that's not a bad idea at all.
I mean, if you're gonna,
a couple years ago,
breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That's all I'm saying.
You and I talked about this, I think, at one point. If you turn around, you can use the back of the toilet seat. There is a great little table. You can have your cup, you can have your silverware, and you're just facing the wall. Just clear it out as you're taking it in.
Yeah. You know what else works?
Eat at Pete's house.
You know what else works great as a table? A table, like in your kitchen.
Yeah, but it's not nearly as socially acceptable to defecate in your kitchen as what it is in the toilet.
You must have weird dinner parties. That's all I can say. All right, everybody. This may seem a little weird, but
I'm sure glad you brought that up again.
Well, that's you know how we have become a culture where we just reduce people to a single category. That's that's who you are to me. That's your entire identity.
I get that. And if I'm being completely honest, Jenny and I don't like argue much, but when she steps on crumbs from my granola bar in the bathroom, that is the source of many of our disagreements. If you're going to eat in here, you can at least sweep it up. It's common.
If you're going to eat in here, you can at least sweep it up.
I mean, she thinks it's gross too.
Hashtag Team Jenny.
That's fair.
All right, so I got to ask, what's the most elaborate meal you've ever eaten on the throne?
Well, okay. I mean, I'm sure that there's been like a time I've been in a hurry and I've eaten lunch or supper there, but it's just a breakfast location. I'll still eat my lunch and supper in a normal place. I don't always eat in the bathroom, but I mean, I've had
A normal place, like
the
on top
kitchen,
the dryer?
no, the kitchen or the dining room. But we don't have a dining room in the kitchen or the family room on a TV tray. That's where I'll eat if I'm eating here at home. I got something in my eye. I don't know what it is.
When Peter's going to sell his house, he's going to list it as 3 bedrooms, 2 breakfast nooks. 2.5 breakfast nooks.
No bathrooms.
Nope.
Oh man.
Like, and they go into the kitchen and there's like, why is there a big hole in the countertop over this drawer? Why is there a box of cereal in the bathroom?
This is the first breakfast nook. Complete with shower.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well, that's all I had planned.
I gotta go see my kids.
You got to do what?
My kids, they just got home. I need to go see them. I haven't seen them today.
All right. Well, I can't stop you.
No. Were we ever going to talk about your green screen?
Mine?
Yeah.
What's to talk about?
I mean, what purpose does that serve?
Well,
you didn't use it for anything. You didn't put up any graphics. It's just this weird curtain that's covering half of your background.
Right.
He was doing that in solidarity with me.
Yeah, because Brian is not able to use his green screen tonight, and so
quarantine.
Right, and I pledged because it's California.
Yep.
And I pledged that I would stand with Brian tonight. That's it. So,
and I appreciate that.
I make sacrifices for my friends, Pete.
Okay.
Green screens matter. Yeah, I did that.
Get out of here. I gotta go.
Okay, well, we'll see you next week.
Oh, good. I'm glad we're making this a routine.
We got all kinds of plans for next week.
Oh my gosh. So. Hey, Chris, it was good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, buddy.
Yep. All right, we'll see you.
All right, later on. Oh, I thought he'd never leave. All right, real quick before we go. What am I going to think? Okay. Next week, I feel like I need to bring everybody up to speed here. Next week, Juan DeVivo will be back. He wasn't here this week, and I had it way up at the top of my list of things to say, and I was so excited about my idea for the ding dong that I forgot to mention that Juan is not here, not because we don't love him, but because he is attending a wedding. So he's having trouble prioritizing what's most important in his life. And so he went to a wedding. But he'll be back next week, and he's going to do some music. Next week, Juan DeVivo gets a second chance. If you weren't here for last week's disastrous Mad Lib with Juan DeVivo, it was actually one of the funniest things that happened last week was Juwan's atrociously bad Mad Lib, because what happened was I don't think he understood the concept of how a Mad Lib is supposed to work, and I think he did. I think he did a Mad Lib himself, and he took a story that he wanted to tell and just removed all of the words from it and tried to put new words into his story, and it was It was a disaster. It was really, really a disaster. So we're going to give him another chance next week. He's going to do some music. John Thomas Oakes is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. And hopefully we're going to get John Thomas Oakes is going to do some piano stuff. And hopefully we're going to do a sing-along. I'm going to get John Thomas to write another theme song for us on the spot. I haven't told him this yet. I haven't told John Thomas that that's what we're going to do. But we're going to have him come on, and I'm going to demand that he write us a theme song right on the spot. And he can do it too. He's brilliant, and I'm going to build him up as this colossal, phenomenal musician. And then I'm going to put him in a scenario where it's going to be impossible for him to succeed, and I'll probably end that friendship. And also on June 13th, mark your calendars. And you guys don't know about this, but you can play too. We're playing Story Salad on June 13th. Now, this is for members only. So if you're not a member of the website at johnbradney.com, this is why you should become a member. June 13th, we're playing Story Salad. It's go to the website, go to the members section. There's a live events thing on the menu. And if you hit that live events thing, it'll take you to that page. And you got to have a password. So on that page, there's a little form to fill it out. And I will send you a password. I, John Branyan, will personally send you a password. So mark your calendar, June 13th. Become a subscriber, johnbranyan.com. Also go to, what's your website, Brian? Tell them what your website is.
My website is comedybrian.com. Check that out. comedybrian.com. And you have a dry bar special? I do. It's not out yet.
Okay.
It's not coming out yet, but I also have a podcast where we talk about comedy and some charity. It's the Uncommon Comedy Podcast.
Right.
Which you're going to be on.
I am going to be on it. I'm
Very
just finding that out right now.
Yes. Putting you on the spot.
And Chris, your website. How do people get a hold of you?
ChrisInTheClassroom.com. And that is also my podcast, Chris in the Classroom, which Senior Branyan was on. You've been on a couple times now.
So, I am everywhere.
Chris in the Classroom.
Everywhere. Yep. So find Chris in the Classroom. Find Comedy Brian. Is that right?
Yep. Comedy Brian for all your Comedy Brian needs.
All your Comedy Brian needs. We didn't do a board quarantine voice tonight. Do you have one? You want to do one? You don't have to.
I'm trying to think of what I can.
But you
I
can
gotta look
read.
and find something.
We'll see. Well, maybe I could give you something.
Your Morgan Freeman's pretty solid.
Morgan
thank
Freeman.
Well, that's one time I like to do things. I don't know what I'm saying, and that's when Brian read the Bic review.
Read the Bic review.
Okay.
You want me to do that?
Pop it up. Do we want a cartoon? Do you want Morgan Freeman? What do you want?
Which Bic review? Do you want a longer one or a medium one, or are you going to be able to read that? Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that.
Not really.
Not really.
Can you throw up one of your screen ones?
You want one of the questions?
Yeah, we can do that.
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Here, hold
reviews
on.
written down. You can go to it, can't you, on Amazon?
Yeah. Let me see.
You can go to the Bic for Her retractable ballpoint pen. This is why people tune in, for this sort of edge of your seat spontaneity.
Absolutely.
This is why they tune in.
Should I move up to the edge of my seat?
Yeah.
For her.
You should move up to the edge of your seat.
To count, where are my reviews? Where are the views?
Did you find it? The Bic for Her?
I did.
Did you find the assorted fashion ink? Don't get the wrong.
Oh, the assorted fashion ink. Sorry. Yep. That's the one I'm on.
Okay.
All right. Customer reviews. Do you want a 5-star or a 1-star?
You know what? It's your call, man. You do whatever you want.
Okay. There we go. After several hours of staring at these pens, I gave up. They didn't write anything. The next day, I asked the ladies in my book club to help me out. Since none of us can read, our book club is more of a martini club. Anyway, I presented these pens to the other ladies, and again, several hours and several martinis later, the pen still hadn't written anything. If you're going to advertise something as for her, I shouldn't have to experience such confusion. Maybe you should provide a man pen in the package so it can tell the woman pen what to do. I like that review.
I do too. I do too.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. Now we're just horsing around. Any comments in the? Anybody throw anything up in the comments? Any questions? Did we answer all of your questions tonight? That's the other thing. If you have a question, if you want us to do some advice, if you want to get our advice on anything, like whether or not you should steal your neighbor's your package off your neighbor's porch or anything like that, any question, I feel like we're qualified to answer any questions. And if we're not qualified, that's not going to stop us from answering. So send them in. Oh, there's one other thing I was gonna put up. This is the new thing that's in the comment or in the members only file section. It's a piece of artwork that Cammie did. It's farting into a bowl of mac and cheese. That's from a couple of years ago, or not a couple of years ago, a couple of episodes ago, when we were playing Quiplash, and the sound came. What's the sound made by when you fart into a bowl of macaroni and cheese? And that inspired my granddaughter to draw this picture. And you can have a copy of that picture. It's in the file section for members only. So you can download that and print it out and display it proudly next to your membership certificate if you want to. But the reason I wanted to put it up there is to let you guys know that we are influencing lives. You know, that people are different for watching this show, and that is.
Mandy must be so proud.
Proof of that.
Well, and that's a good option if you have the Rumble in the Bronx question again. You can just fart into a bowl of mac and cheese.
Right, and right into a bowl of mac and cheese, and there you go. You can see the little guy there. It's a massive bowl of macaroni and cheese, because that thing on the side there, on the left-hand side, is actually a person that's sitting on the bowl of macaroni and cheese. But artistic. You can download it and study it and figure out all of the artistic nuances. This was fun. I have to stop. It's 160 degrees upstairs. Look at my shirt. Look at my shirt. Look how wet I am. I'm that's all.
That's normally how I look after eating.
That's all sweat. That's all sweat from myself. It's sweat. That's the sweat that I'm literally pouring into this show. Subscribe if you get a chance. And hey, thanks you guys. We'll see you next week.